The woman who held my hair back when I cried over boys was the same woman in my husband's arms, in my house, in my bed. And when I confronted my family, they told me to forgive her. They told me I was overreacting. They told me to think about her feelings. So I did something none of them expected. I disappeared. Completely. And I have zero regrets. Let me take you back to where this story really begins. Our narrator, let's call her Maya, grew up in a house full of noise, 3 sisters, 1 brother, 2 parents who worked constantly, and in that chaos, Maya was always the responsible one. The one who remembered birthdays, who showed up early, who stayed late. Her sister Layla was 2 years younger, louder, funnier. The life of every room she walked into. Growing up, Maya never resented that. She loved Layla for it. She was her biggest fan. When Layla failed her exams, Maya tutored her, for free, for months. When Layla got her heart broken at 19, Maya drove 4 hours at midnight to be there. When Layla needed a place to stay after a bad breakup, Maya opened her home. No questions asked. That was 3 years before all of this happened. Now let's talk about Daniel. Maya met him at a work conference. Smart, charming, reliable, or so she thought. They dated for 2 years, got engaged, got married in a small ceremony surrounded by family. Layla was the maid of honor. She gave a speech that made everyone cry. She talked about how Maya deserved every beautiful thing in the world. She hugged Daniel at the reception and whispered, "Take care of my sister." He nodded. He promised. For the first 3 years, the marriage felt solid. Not perfect, but solid. Daniel traveled for work often. Maya was building her own career. They had routines, dinner on Fridays, Sunday calls with family, date nights when they remembered. Nothing dramatic, nothing alarming. But here's what Maya didn't know. While she was building her life, someone was quietly dismantling it from the inside. It started small, the way betrayal always does. Layla started coming around more often. At first, Maya was happy about it. She thought it meant their sisterhood was growing stronger. Layla would come over for dinner, stay for drinks, sometimes crash in the guest room. Daniel seemed to enjoy her company. He'd laugh louder when Layla was in the room. Maya noticed. But she told herself that's just his personality. Then came the text. One afternoon, Maya borrowed Daniel's phone to look up a restaurant. She wasn't snooping, she was hungry, but a name lit up the screen. Layla. The message preview, "Last night was a mistake. We need to stop." Maya's hands went cold. She put the phone down. She picked it back up. She read it again. 3 words echoed in her head. Last night was. She didn't explode. Not yet. She went to the bathroom, sat on the floor, breathed, and then she got strategic. For the next week, Maya said nothing. She watched. She noticed how Layla's name appeared in his notifications, how Daniel stepped outside to take calls, how he started leaving for work 15 minutes earlier. Small things, damning things. One night, Daniel said he had a late client meeting. Maya said she had book club. She didn't go to book club. She drove to her own house, parked down the street, and waited. At 9:47 p.m., Layla's car pulled into the driveway. Maya sat in her car for 11 minutes. She counted every single one. Then she walked to her front door, used her key, and opened it. The living room was empty, the kitchen was empty, but the hallway light was on, and there were 2 wine glasses on the counter, one with pink lipstick on the rim, Layla's signature shade. Maya didn't need to go upstairs, but she did. She pushed open the bedroom door, and the life she had built collapsed. Daniel saw her first. He scrambled, started talking immediately, words pouring out. "Maya, wait, this isn't... I can explain, it's complicated, please just listen." Layla didn't say a word. She just looked at Maya. And in that look, Maya saw something that broke her worse than the scene itself. It wasn't shame. It wasn't horror. It was guilt mixed with relief. Like Layla had been waiting for this moment, like some part of her wanted to be caught. Maya didn't scream. She didn't cry. She said, very quietly, "Get out of my house. Both of you." Daniel tried to grab her arm. She stepped back. She pointed at the door. They left. And then Maya sat alone in her kitchen for 3 hours. She didn't call anyone. She just sat there, processing the fact that the two people she trusted most in the world had chosen each other over her. But here's where the story takes another turn. The next day, her phone started ringing. Her mom, her dad, her other siblings. She assumed they were calling to check on her. She was wrong. They had already spoken to Layla. And the narrative had already been shaped. Her mother's first words? "Maya, you need to hear Layla's side." Her father? "Daniel says you've been emotionally distant for years." Her brother? "These things are complicated. Don't blow up the whole family over this." One by one, every person Maya expected to stand beside her chose to stand in the middle. And standing in the middle when someone has been betrayed like this is the same as choosing the other side. Maya realized something then. This wasn't just about Daniel. This wasn't just about Layla. This was about a family that had always asked her to shrink, to forgive, to accommodate, to be the bigger person, every single time. And she was done. Maya called a family meeting. 1 week later, she let everyone sit down. She let the room get quiet. Then she spoke. "I'm not here to yell. I'm not here to beg anyone to choose me. I'm here to say one thing clearly. What Layla and Daniel did is not a complicated situation. It's a betrayal. And how you've all responded, that's another betrayal. You called me emotionally distant. You said I should hear her side. You said don't blow up the family. But you didn't say any of that to the people who actually lit the match." Layla started crying. She said she was sorry, that it just happened, that she hated herself. Maya looked at her for a long moment. "Layla, it didn't just happen. You drove to my house. You used the key I gave you. In an emergency. You made choices, over and over again, and I'm not responsible for how much this hurts you right now." Her mother stood up, said Maya was being cruel. Maya picked up her bag. "I'm not cruel. I'm just finally done being convenient. I love you all. But I can't be in spaces where my pain is an inconvenience, so I'm removing myself." She walked out, changed her number that evening, filed for divorce within the month, and blocked every family member who continued to push for reconciliation with Layla. She didn't move cities. She didn't hide. She just rebuilt. Quietly. On her own terms. So here we are, confession verdict time, and this one is heavy. Was Maya right to cut off her entire family? Let's look at both sides. Because we always do. The case for Maya. She didn't just lose a husband, she lost a sister, the same sister she sacrificed for, drove for, sheltered. And when she needed her family most, they asked her to manage her reaction instead of addressing their betrayal. That's not neutrality. That's erasure. Protecting your peace isn't cruelty, it's survival. The case against cutting everyone off. Some people argue families are messy. Parents panic. They say the wrong things in the wrong moments. Maybe her mom was scared of losing both daughters. Maybe her dad didn't know what to say. Maybe cutting everyone off permanently closes the door on people who might come around. But here's the question only you can answer. When someone is drowning and your family asks you to understand the water, how long are you supposed to keep swimming? Was Maya right? Was her family wrong? Or is the truth, as always, sitting somewhere complicated in between? Drop your verdict below. I genuinely want to know what you think. Maya's story isn't over. Last we know, she's okay. She has a small circle, a therapist she trusts, a life she's rebuilding piece by piece. She doesn't call it a happy ending. She calls it a real one. And sometimes that's the best we can do. If this story hit different for you, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people find these stories. And if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted completely, someone who was supposed to be safe, tell me your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're new here, welcome to Confession Verdict. We don't judge, we don't sensationalize, we just tell the truth. And we let you decide. Subscribe so you never miss a verdict. I'll see you in the next one.